Rainy nights always make things feel heavier. But tonight I didn't expect the past to knock on my door. It is funny how you can live in a place for years and think you know every corner, every creak in the floorboards. Tonight, the rain tapping against my window was like a drumbeat, counting down to something I couldn't yet see. I was just cleaning up my desk, trying to make sense of the clutter that had piled up over the week. Bills, old mail, a half-finished book, the usual stuff. As I reached to close the bottom drawer of my desk, my fingers brushed against something rough, the wall behind it. There was a loose brick. I've lived here for 5 years and I'd never noticed it. My heart started to pound a little faster. It was probably nothing, just shoddy construction in this old building. But the curiosity was too strong. I wiggled it, and it came free with a soft scrape, leaving a dark, hollow space in the wall. And inside, tucked away in the shadows, was a small yellowed envelope. It was brittle with age, the edges softened by time. I pulled it out carefully, my hands feeling clumsy. The paper was so delicate I was afraid it might crumble into dust. There was no name, no address, just a single sealed envelope hidden away for who knows how long. I returned to my desk, the rain outside seeming to get louder, and gently broke the wax seal. "What's this doing here?" The handwriting inside was shaky, almost frantic. The ink was faded, but the words were still clear. It read, "If you are reading this, then it means the secret was never found. The life I built was a lie, a necessary one to protect what matters most. I beg you, do not search for the truth. Keep it safe, for the consequences are greater than you can imagine. A secret. From 30 years ago?" That's what a small date at the bottom of the page told me. I flipped the letter over. On the back, there was a single name, Eleanor. I didn't know anyone named Eleanor. This must be a mistake, something left behind by a previous tenant decades ago, but the letter, it felt personal. It felt like a warning. Curiosity is a dangerous thing, but it's stronger than fear. I had to know. Who was this letter for, and what secret did it hide? My night was no longer about cleaning my desk. It was about uncovering a ghost. I started with a simple online search for the address, trying to find a list of past residents. The records were sparse, but I found a few names. None of them were Eleanor. Days turned into a week of obsession. I spent my evenings in the city library, scrolling through microfilm of old newspapers, searching for any mention of the name, the address, anything from that time period. The librarian started to recognize me, giving me a knowing, slightly concerned smile each time I walked in. I felt like I was chasing a shadow. Then, I found it. An article from a local paper 30 years ago. A small piece about a community fundraiser. There was a photo. A young couple smiling at the camera. The woman was beautiful, but it was the man who made my blood run cold. He looked just like me. Not a passing resemblance, but an undeniable one. It was like looking at a younger version of my own father, but the caption listed a different name. My hands trembled as I printed the page. No, that can't be. I rushed home, the newspaper clipping clutched in my hand. The puzzle pieces were starting to form a picture I wasn't sure I wanted to see. The more I dug, the closer the past crept into my life. The people, the promises, the mistakes. They weren't just stories, they were mine. That night, I tore my parents' attic apart, searching for anything that could explain this. Behind a stack of old photo albums, I found a small leather-bound journal. It was my mother's. Her familiar handwriting filled the pages, but the entries were from before I was born. My heart hammered against my ribs as I read about a hidden love, a difficult choice, and a name I now recognized. Eleanor. She wasn't just a stranger. She was connected to my family in a way I never could have imagined. This changes everything. The man in the photo, the secret in the letter, my own life, it was all tangled together in a web of lies spun 30 years ago. Some secrets are buried for a reason. I stood there, in the dim light of my apartment, holding the letter that started it all. Outside, the storm that had been brewing all week finally broke. Thunder rattled the windows, and the wind howled like a mournful cry. The past wasn't just catching up. It had slammed right into my present. And now, I have a choice. Expose a truth that could shatter my family, or let the secret remain forgotten, buried in the wall where I found it. But I know, deep down, you can't run from who you are. The story isn't over. It's just beginning.